Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Weekend sweep up. You know the rules. I'm sitting here in a Harajuku salmon fucking coral hoodie. And what? Street sleeveless as always. We're back in the game.
Who needs sleeves, mate? Who needs sleeves?
I mean, to be fair, all it was is I'm having a fat day. And I didn't like how I looked in the sleeveless tops. So, bunged on a hoodie, didn't I? Now I'm all comfy.
Excellent, mate. Yeah, see, I just give the zero fucks
You never have
about
a
it.
fat.
It's
You've
been
never
like
had a fat day.
But nah, mate, it was fucking burgers today. We had dessert. It was lush, lush.
I like your style. It's been a big weekend.
It has actually.
Yeah.
It was one of them ones where, like, going into it, you're like, because I thought the UFC looked sick on paper, but it really delivered. So it was one of them ones where you're just like, yes, it has been a good week.
I spent all of it in fucking spreadsheets, and I know we're swearing inside the intro 5 minutes. Listen, when I've had to do 20 hours of fucking Excel,
Exactly.
I'm an artist. I don't live that life. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not for me.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
It's been a rough weekend. It's very stressful, isn't it?
It is, but on the plus side, you got a unicorn and Mike Tyson over your shoulder.
Mike.
It's looking good, man.
Look at him go. There's something coming for here, hopefully early next week. Big. Yeah, it's been you got up with the crew, didn't you, this weekend? You matched that with all the mafia.
Yes,
What's that about?
yeah.
You photoed out.
Had a little photo shoot. Got together and bloody jumped about and took some photos. It was nice. Good to see everyone in person. You spend so much time like on the screen.
Yeah.
And like us, we're gonna do one sat next to each other
at some point. And there was also like we've both got boxes of things for each other, and I'd completely forgotten that you meet up and see people in person. To be honest, it's been so long.
Going to the post office and
I was like, yeah. It's just like it's just a weird life now, isn't it?
Yeah.
10 grand fines for fucking going outside. HSBC's in trouble for like Ponzi schemes and money laundering again.
People not let you inside. Where's your mask? Fuck off.
I haven't had one person challenge me on the mask yet. Have you?
I've got the looks, and I've had in the Tesco. So we've moved place, but our old place was above a Tesco, and the security guard was just kind of like, and because he knew I lived upstairs, I was like, I don't really have an excuse. Like, it's not far to go. So all right, mother.
Yeah, but also shut up. Yeah, you know, mate. Like, seriously, you've got other things.
Let me get my grapes and get out of here, mate.
Yeah, I'm getting my grapes. You're lucky that I don't nick them, because you're gonna do nothing with your little fucking chest cam. Has he got a chest cam?
Probably, mate. He's like,
they've all got chest cams. So on the bucket list is to knock out a Tesco's specific security guard with his own chest cam. Just literally hold it and flip it into his own chin, drop him, no reason whatsoever, to flip over someone's smart car. I've always wanted to do that. Probably just to have a gold bar and maybe to dump tackle a politician. All good things.
That's a solid list. That's a solid list.
Yeah. I want it. Where do you want to do, ring or cage?
Should we proceed from ring to cage?
See, now I was actually going to flip it the other way, because last time a Greek cuck complained that we chatted about boxing for 45 minutes before we got into the UFC, but we had titled the episode UFC. So let's do ring.
All right. Fuck you.
Fuck that guy. Shout out to Dr. Nick Bellend. Right.
Comments have been taken on board, and fuck yourself with them.
Yeah. This is how this works. I would like if you could read the name of the person that I sent you. Just have a little crack at it. Get your phone up.
All right, hang on. Let's do this.
Because it's a name. It goes by the name of King Tut, which, for all I know, that's how you pronounce his fucking name. Right.
Where the fuck is it?
It's like TSUTUGOTSOUGT, and you pronounce it like Kevin.
Yeah, I'm giving up, man. I'm fucking bowing out. I can't even find this shit.
It's like King Tut, Namambaya versus Brady, whatever his name is, like little Bayesian dude. Hedge. like little, just thick featherweight.
Bodied.
Yeah, it's a wicked fight. He got dropped 2 rounds in the first round and second round. Scorecards were like unnecessarily close, honestly. Like it was like he nicked 3 rounds, 4 rounds maybe, but whatever his name is, Kevin, Kevin just it wasn't close. It just wasn't, right? I don't know what the fuck these judges watch it like half the time. It's they make it up. They make it up on the fly. Yeah, they literally do. They just go, yeah, all right, well, can't have it too wide, I suppose. Every time he
would catch up on some shut eye during this fight, I'll fill it out now and fucking.
It's like someone, because they've got them perspex screens, haven't they, now? It's like they've just got something else in front of them. Every time King Tut, we're going to call him King Tut Kevin, is what we're going to call him. Every time King Tut started to open up, he was rattling him. But then he just seemed to get bored. He really did. Like, he just seemed to get bored. Whatever. It was worth a little watch. It's a little watch.
Right, that one I got to catch up on.
Yeah, it's worth a little look. Do you want to do Pedraza and because like I got like four or 5 rounds in that one. Full disclosure, I just walked away.
Yeah, see, I mean, look, Pedraza in fair because he's got 3 losses, but it's to Gervonta Davis, Loma, and Jose Sabeda was the other one. So he's lost to quality guys. He looked fucking handy. I really thought he boxed beautifully. Lush split entry shot. Just like head off the line, fucking bang. Beautiful, picture perfect shot. Put it up on the Insta story just because it's like one of them teaching moments where it's like, that's how it's supposed to be done. Head off the fucking line, put it down the pipe. He looked fantastic. Javier Molina, now I think it's 22-3. He drops 2. He was there for it, but Pedraza was just a cut above. Like, he really looked class. So,
who was the video that you sent me? Who got immediately sent to Shapeshifting Jesus? But, was that this weekend as well?
Yeah,
Geezer in blue shorts who got unbelievably ironed. He got absolutely just whacked.
His soul got taken from him, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like he literally just got taken. It was. Do you know what? There's been some big knockouts this year, isn't there?
Bro,
like, big knockouts.
And it's one of them ones too, especially because the year has been so weird. You forget some of them are still from this year, and like, fuck, that was.
Yeah, there's been some. I mean, like, even just like White and Povetkin. That's a serious. This is. Do you know what this is? This is the year of the single uppercut fucking KO. Is what this is.
Yeah, and horrific body shots. I feel like there's some dirty body shots this year. 2020 is good for something, man. I'll tell you. Right, Brian Lua.
Brian Lua, right?
Yeah.
Is he the one that is no longer with us? Rest in power.
He's the one that sent the traveler to Jesus. That was a heavy shot, mate. That was a fucking heavy shot.
That was huge. Lubin and Gachet, right? First of all, is there any way that there's not a Essex brothel called Gachet because they think it sounds like an international way of saying gash? Right? How are you going to be called?
Put it down now. If there's not, we need to make it. We need that trademark on that shit.
Crowdfunded, right? Gachet. What? How are you going to be called that? Lubin versus Gachet. That was like a chess match, wasn't it? That was a pure.
Yeah.
Like those two knew exactly what was at stake, right? Loved both of their fight outfits. Cute.
Dead sexy.
But for real though, 154.
Yep.
Stacked. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Big time.
layers upon layers upon layers of killers, right? There's like, if you're like C tier at the minute, you would probably be world champion level 5 years ago. Like,
Yeah,
154 isn't
yeah.
immense. You got
Yep.
the Charlos, you got Brooke lurking around, you got our lot in. I mean, our own 154 lot is something to behold, let alone with the Americans, where you got J Rock and Hurd and Texera, and like, it's a big, big, big Lara. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's so deep.
You never, I mean, fuck, man, you never know when what weight Canelo's going to turn up at. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? He might be on some of that other meat. Start stripping down lovely. But yeah, it was a chess match, right? Both of them had an awful lot on the line. You know, Lubin won pretty handily. He got rocked, what, round 11, 10, 11, something
Yeah.
like that. It was a good fight, right? It wasn't exciting, but it was a good fight. What more can you
Beautiful
really
boxing.
say? It was a chess match. You had Orthodox versus Southpaw, both of them in swagged out red gear. Boom, loved it. It was just
Big up, big
quality.
up.
Yeah, it was just a
And just
quality fight.
for those looking to find someone getting sent to Jesus, it's Brian Lua versus Luis. Here we fucking go. Norambuena. I reckon
You
that's
got
kind of
no
it.
excuse in Latin names.
Yeah, I know, mate.
You got
I
none.
started reading that. I was like, shit.
You got absolute layers of no excuses.
But yeah, so Brian Lua versus Luis Norambuena.
Yeah.
Heavy knockout. Heavy.
Factually, that is my Corona versus income tomorrow. Fact.
Well deserved one.
Yeah,
Well
yeah,
deserved one.
yeah. It is in the echelon. Ennis versus Abreu.
Yes.
Talk to me.
Didn't see it. I know.
Ennis is like, he's got like all of the swag of AB, right? He's got all of the gear of AB, all of the talent, and he's a switch hitter. He looked phenoms. He really did.
That I need to catch, man.
Right?
That I need to catch. The day's been largely spent watching The Cage. I need to.
How dare you?
I know.
The only time that I want to watch
I
Cages is when I'm on Berlin websites. That's it. But Enos looked wicked, right? He really did. Even I tell you what, he's such a savage that the ref was exceptional in that fight. Every time he would knock down a Abreu, whatever the fuck his name is, he would have him, and he would say, "All right, you're right. Do you want to continue? Step to the left." And he would be like, "Are you all right?" And he'd be like, "All right, I'll let you go now." Right. The second knockdown is also a Corona versus my income, because he gets punched square in the forehead, and both hands come up, and he goes, and then goes down.
Yeah, I saw the
Massive. And that is another 2020 hoodlum uppercut. It was just vicious, right? He gave it the proper lean back, the shoulder, and then he got.
Oh yes, yeah.
He took that geezer's face off.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we should move cage side then, because that pretty much covers it. These are not. Next weekend is big for the boxing. We've got Josh Taylor, we've got the Charlos, there's a Showtime pay-per-view. It's a big weekend next weekend, right? Let's go to the cage, because I feel that you've embodied the cage. I saw 3 or 4 of the fights, main event, co-main, one of the dirty stoppages.
I was popcorned out. Just, it was fucking quality, son. Quality. So the first one on the main event was Kevin Holland versus Darren Stewart. Darren the dentist, London boy, great guy. So it was a fucking brilliant fight. It really was. Holland's one of them guys. It's really hard not to like him. Like he's talking in the middle of the fight, and it's not like shit talking. It's like, "Oh, you strong." He was saying to Darren and shit. It's just like, and mate, he was like slapping him. He was foot stomping him. He was like, what was it? Shoulder butting him. He was punching him in the thighs. There was this hammer fist, like a almost karate chop. It was fucking. It was good, versatile shots. So he took the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Stewart had a massive third round. He was very close to getting the stoppage. didn't get it. And so when the decision came, Holland got it, but he was a boss. Like he straight went up to Dana and he was like, listen, you want me to do that again? I'll do that again. In his post-fight, he was saying, look, if I got the first two, I thought that would have been a 10-8 for him. And I thought it would be a draw. I thought maybe he got it. I'm definitely up for doing that again. You know, it's just like fucking respect. You get
it was what you wanted to hear, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he handled himself like a boss in the cage. Outside of the cage, he was just like, look, and it was a great performance. It's not like, you know, sometimes people have and they try and oversell it. There's nothing to apologize about. And he's just like, look, you know, I didn't do what I wanted to do, but fuck, a win's a win, man. And it was a great fight. And Darren loses nothing from it because it really was a really good account of himself. So love that fight.
It's heavy in the Apex, isn't it? Like it's number one, a smaller cage. It looks like they just got the fucking Ultimate Fighter Stadium studio is what all they've done there, right? You got the boss sitting impossibly with no distractions. I mean, he might be on the flip phone texting, but you got everything. Like it's a heavy environment.
Yeah, and like the commentators randomly just still supposed to be social distance apart. It's like, come on now, everyone's been tested. Just let them fucking sit next to each other and talk. It's weird.
I'm getting fed up with this, you know.
Yeah, man, new normal. Fuck off. Anyway, so next up was the Yas Queens, Mackenzie Dern. Yeah, versus Randa Marcos. So
I saw one of them had a little tattoo on her. She had like. Is that a different one?
Yeah, that was the undercard.
Okay, you keep going.
Savage. But yeah, so this one, Mackenzie Dern is a straight up beast on the ground. And apparently she wanted to try and showcase some striking in this one.
Yeah, don't do that.
She went for a kick and she slipped. But Marcos like followed her down. It's like, I'm not sure you want to do that. And then it was just a beautiful transition set up. She went for the triangle first, I think, then she kind of went omoplata, ended up getting her with the armbar. And like, you know, a lot of, especially the female fighters, they're super flexible. So you're just looking at the arm to say, shit, that's gonna snap. And you just got her in the first. It was just like literally once she got her on the ground, it was like a boa just like doing its thing. So she got her out of there pretty quick. What was up next? We had so then it was Ryan Spann versus Johnny Walker.
I saw that one. Johnny Walker, Brazilian boy who's got the least Brazilian name of all time.
Yeah,
Johnny
and when he
Walker,
talks proper Brazilian though,
he looks Brazilian.
Yeah,
like everything about him is just pure Brazilian.
You know, that was one of the there was a bottle on that. What do we call him? Fuck it.
He's probably taken a few rolls of the dice with the odd transsexual, whatever. He's a proper Brazilian, and I respect the shit out of that. Right? Listen, it's fine. Roll the dice, take risks. It's all right.
That's it, you know. Fucking only one way to find out.
Exactly.
So wait, let's talk. So there were some stats that they put up. So Spann had the longest active win streak in the light heavyweight division with 4, which I didn't know that. 12 first round finishes, and he won the contract for the Contender Series too.
How has he got the longest light heavyweight? Like
active.
Oh, okay. So what they just say, like John Jones? No.
Yeah. That's why I was like, because it was one of them when it popped up. I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, okay, yeah, and then Walker, 5th fastest KO in light heavyweight history, 15 seconds. The reason I'm mentioning their weight division is because that comes important when we talk about Cerrone, because it's just like in UFC history, he has the records for this shit. He's got the 2nd fastest flying knee KO in history, 36 seconds. First has got to be Masvidal, surely. And 3rd highest knockdown rate in light heavyweight history. So great
these
fighters.
Are all fairly sad accolades, though, aren't they? Like,
Like, it is a bit like,
First or second, fine. Third, maybe you're pushing it. Like fifth.
It's also too like you're gonna hear one of them. It's like most middleweight finishers since 2016. They have these weird like year things. It's like
sure,
all right, cool, interesting tidbits of information. But anyway, Walker is always fucking exciting because he got dropped twice in the first. So he's either knocking you the fuck out or he's gonna go down on the way. the first time it looked like he kind of fell into a triangle. I was like, oh shit, because he got dropped.
Yeah, he went properly wobbled, didn't he? He went like hands and legs out, face
went
down
into it.
Yeah.
Managed to get himself back out, stood back up, and then got dropped immediately, like straight down.
Yeah.
But then Spann went for the shoot, and he shot him against the cage. So then Walker just started hammer fisting the life out of him.
Which done him, right?
Yeah.
One of those hammer fists properly. He obviously got him on the very pit of the jaw, and he went face down and then popped back up again, didn't he?
And then that's when he started with the elbows.
I tell you what, that KO, right? That KO is when you're fighting with young cousins, right? Playing around when you're a kid, and it goes a little bit too far, and you shit yourself when you're going to get in trouble because you gave him that one smooth elbow and then the second one just to finish it up, and then you're like, oh. Yeah, he gave it like the Travis Brown, didn't he?
Yeah, Hellbow.
Yeah, Hellbows. Boom.
Have a bit of that, son.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. And then the Namaste winning ceremony.
He even told the doctor to fuck off, didn't he? He was like, I'm meditating. Yeah, no, because, 1 minute.
Mate,
I'm aligning my root chakra.
He has to be the only guy in history to hurt himself more after a fight than before it. Did you see when he did the worm and he dislocated his shoulder? No. So he was on a fucking tear. Like, tore up when he came into the UFC, absolute tear. He has a win and he goes for the worm, and literally you can see he's like a bit. And I think it was even Rogan interviewing him. He's like, "Did you pop your shoulder?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he was fucked. Like he was out for ages. He needed heaps of rehab. The fight was super quick. Like he took 0 damage in the fight, fucked his shoulder, and then So this time he was like, "I ain't going there again."
Right? Imagine that. Right? There's no win to be had. Right, it's not like they're going to pay for. There's no way that the UFC are paying for that injury, are they? You're not claiming that on insurance. How did it happen? Oh, I fell. Did you? I mean, respect.
It's like, I remember back home there was because in the Muay Thai you go over the top rope, and this fella he's fucked up his entry and he's tried to jump over and he's kicked it and he's landed like on his shoulder and head separating, and you can tell he did something bad because while they're touching gloves and he's getting talking to from the ref at the start, all he's doing is like, oh fuck. And so he comes out and he's just like this, and it's like that's the worst thing to do in a Thai thing. So then he does it one more time, neck kick out cold. You say that was just a shit day at the office for you, bro.
Yeah,
like
he's had a nightmare.
Fucked himself on the way to the ring, KO'd. It was pretty much the first shot. There was a couple of jab, whack, done.
Oh,
anyway, so at least, hey, Johnny's learned from it. Hopefully, he's not.
Yeah, well, he's got the meditation as the celebration now. It's quite hard to get hurt doing that, isn't it?
Much safer.
Yeah. And
then, all right, here we go. Let me try this. Gerald Meerschert. Aert. I heard him say it like a bunch, and I was like, I'm going to remember how to say it and nail it first time. I fucking failed. Meerschert, we'll go with something like that. Anyway,
yeah, Meerkat.
Yeah, and he fought Khamzat Chimaev. I think that's how you say it. Fucking beast. Fucking love that dude. Yeah. So,
which one of the Stans is he from?
Chechnya. So he fights out of Sweden via Chechnya. Russia. Yeah.
Fine. I believe the president of Chechnya has got his own MMA league, isn't he?
Oh, is it?
I think so, yeah. Well, whatever the prime minister, the emperor, the czar of Chechnya has, I'm pretty sure he's got his own MMA league. Fine.
It's probably that team one. Have you seen the team MMA where there's like obstacles and shit and they punch each other off? What
goes on there in those areas? Listen, there's dudes putting on armor. There's team MMA. There's slap fighting. They just
the only thing is, I just wish they would film it more and export it more because that shit is not.
I'm pretty sure it is filmed. I think the export is the problem. I think like when you're dealing in like the stans that are not Kazakhstan, I think things get proper ropey getting in and out of them. All right, so he's Chechnyan. Market. Yeah, should we start? Should we do a live one of slap fights? Should we just find some moody live feed? It'll be like someone filming their Instagram live.
You know, my favorite thing in them slap fights is someone just gives it everything they got and the other fucker just doesn't move. And you're like, oh, you're in for a rough next few seconds, mate.
There seems to be incredibly lax weight categories in that slap fight. We've all seen the one where the geezer, the guy who's got like tattooed fucking eyeballs, who at best is 75 kilos, and then in comes the giant Viking gentleman who's all of 210 of just inertia, isn't he? And he doesn't work out that well, does it? You know they're fucked when they get that one. Yeah, wear a gum shield, boys. It doesn't diminish it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
your eardrums are still fucking taking it as well.
Imagine having that like just bear claw. Just
I love the lineup too. How they
exactly
just, like, slice them up. First.
Yeah, just need to just line this up. Oh, anyway, the Chechnyan.
Bro, so this guy's stats are legit. 100% finish rate. The fewest days between UFC wins in modern era, just 10 days between fights. And he's outstruck his opponents going into this fight 192 to 2. 192 of his strikes, he's taken 2. This fight, no fucking different. So, I'm going to go with his first name because I can't say his second name. Gerald, like vet, like 40 fights, most subs in middleweight history with 5, most middleweight finishes since 2016. That's that guy. 23 wins by subs. So he's been around. That's the thing with Chimaev. He's like a up and comer, tearing up the scene. But Gerald was like, but he hasn't fought someone experienced yet. 17 seconds, bro. The first shot, picture perfect. Just boom. On the chin, and he was another one said, I want to show my striking. Not much of a talker in the post-fight. No. Between the Swedish and the Chechnyan, he's very direct. It's just like, they're like, when are you going to fight? When Dana said, it's just like, no zero chat, but feed me someone else now.
Yeah, I live under octagon. I'm ready. You're like, oh,
just
okay. Yeah.
Destroyer of men. Like, so pumped. It's like that proper Khabib murderer. When someone walks in and you're just like, whew.
They're terrifying, aren't they? Them,
yeah, man. Yeah, proper and exciting as fuck. He's almost got that Tyson about him.
My wife used to work with a Chechnyan facilities manager who was called Miro was his name, right? And Miro would have a little bit of the old saucy sauce and then start talking about the war. 100% Miro has eaten people.
Shout out Miro.
Yeah, shout out Miro. Miro would walk past the Witherspoons and start telling you stories about how he cut someone's face off. Miro lived a life, bless him. Yeah. Powerful guy. Never get on the wrong side of him. And he had that like classic Chechnyan build, right? He had no neck. He was just a barrel of a human. He was just a cube with arms and legs, and he's
pixelated head as well. The block head,
like a breeze block, a breeze block of a head. He had fingers that were just like the girth on them was astonishing. You just didn't want him grabbing you. He was just like, I understand why you've eaten people. There was no other way out of
the
it.
slap fighting, mate.
God, God knows. I wonder what he's up to now. He's probably been at The Hague. Anyway, so yeah, he's one to watch then.
Yeah, massively, mate, massively. Yeah, super. And I mean, look, he's taken zero punishment at all. They could have him fighting weekly the way this is going. So then there was Donald Cerrone versus Niko Price.
Yeah.
How can you
fucking eye poke championship?
Bro, yeah, rough. But in fact, like, Niko was such a fucking nice dude. He's like, fuck, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. That's way better than when they try and say, I didn't do shit.
He was weirdly built, Niko, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got like really, really huge, long arms, really like narrow, short torso and body. And
I thought the same, yeah.
Yeah, he's built like a Street Fighter character. He's just wonky.
He's like an action figure where you rip the top and the bottom off and put two different ones together.
Yeah, you
like
just look at it. It was very unsettling watching him, wasn't it? It was just weird.
Cerrone is
He's a G,
fucking
isn't he?
the epitome of a boss, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's riding his bikes and his fucking speedboats and shooting guns and riding on horses when he's not fighting, and fucking legend.
He lives his truth. I thought
Massively.
I thought he edged it, Cowboy.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
it's really hard to watch a Cowboy fight and not be biased as fuck. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's such a G.
Yeah.
But yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So Cerrone, as I said, going back to it, he has the most wins in UFC history. No weight division, not since this year. None of that shit.
Yeah, just number
23 wins in UFC history. He's got the most finishes, 16, most performance awards, 18. I mean, they are some mad stats.
Yeah.
In an
And
organization
this
of
is-
fucking savages, he's King Savage.
He was the same in WEC as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's always been that.
And he's just, I love too, he's one of them guys, not company man in the sense of going to kiss ass to get to the top. Company man in the sense of like, you put on fights, I want to fucking fight. I want to fight every month of the year. Gangster, old school. Love him. But yeah, as you said.
He just understands, doesn't he? He understands that he gets paid to fight. He's a prize fighter. He probably gets a bonus every time he fights from the sponsors. He's still got his bud and whatever sponsorship. I think he lives that baller life. I think he will like earn it, spend it, have to earn more to spend more, and respect.
Yeah, man. Especially the way you spend it. Fuck that. If you're spending on like ammunition and vehicles and shit.
It's like the big tour van that he's got. He's got like a $2 million fucking tour van.
Yeah, and he built the whole facility where they train and everything. He's a rancher. And,
he's got the bad motherfucker ranch.
Yeah. But Niko, so 13 of his 14 wins are by finishes, 10 KOs, and it's the only KO in history punch from the bottom, and he's got one of 2 up kicks. So he's dangerous as fuck from the ground. Yes, sir.
Bas Rutten's got a from the back punch from the ground KO.
Was that?
That was in UFC as well. No, it was early UFC.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you on that one, brother. Mainly because I like to tell people that Bas is actually my birth dad. I think Bas has got a from the back punch up KO.
Really?
I really do, yeah.
I'm trying to think who that would have been.
Yeah.
We'll watch it because I fucking love watching Bas's fights.
Come on. He's the
even
he's
in
the
a
king.
pancreas where he's just palming motherfuckers.
Get some.
With the tattooed palm as well.
Maybe what they do is that maybe it was like pre-Zuffa UFC and they count the record from post-Zuffa.
Yeah, but they're usually pretty that's why they put in modern history. That's usually what they're referring to with that changeover. So, it popped up on the screen, but let's check. That'll be sick. We'll write in and be them little people to say, excuse me.
Yeah, you fucking assholes. With Gossip Podcast. Mm-hmm.
Fucking super tight fight.
Yeah.
Judges scored someone gave it to Cerrone, wasn't it? And the other 2 scored it a draw, so it was a majority draw.
I mean, Niko come out in that first round, right? And if that wasn't someone as experienced and as double busy as Donald, you kind of would say that they might have folded because he came out big.
Oh, big time.
He came out teaking and elbowing and swinging on him. Like, he properly put it on him in that first round.
Look, they prepared well because they knew Donald. You know, he usually takes a while to get going and they were just putting on. But he definitely punched himself out a bit. Like you can tell he was.
Well, I think there was a moment, probably about 2 minutes in, where it actually looked like he was going to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it shook, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. There was a couple of little bits where he's like, his legs didn't go, but he twisted funny, and he looked like at any minute there's going to be another one of these, and he's going to crack him with something on the way down. Yeah,
but it's also demoralizing too when you're fresh as fuck. You've given them everything you got, and they're still there. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah. Donald looks physically like an older fighter now, and I understand I'm having a fat day, and I've got the fat day hoodie on, but he does. He is starting to look.
Yeah, big time. Also, the explosiveness that's the main thing that you see missing. Like, and it does kind of seem like before he had that the
Yeah.
fight. I guess he's been out there so many fucking times now, isn't it? But you can see it's like it is a day at the office, which helped him in this fight.
Yeah,
Like
of course it did.
the calmness that he had under pressure was just like, listen, man, you're not going to do anything to me. I haven't seen
Yeah.
a million times before, so it did help. But yeah, I agree. You can see that it's definitely towards the end.
Well, I want to know what happens with him going forward, because they're, you know, Bellator will hoover him up in a heartbeat when his contract's up. I mean, because the thing is like someone like that.
Knuckle.
Yeah, he's going to, isn't he? He's going to go straight to the FC, isn't he? Fair. I would assume that they'll probably say to him, "Don't go to Bellator, but we'll back you in this. Go on, son."
Yeah.
That would be a huge star for them.
Big.
I tell you what, he ain't doing too many of them a year, though, is he?
Yeah. No, he ain't going to change it. Which is madness, because it's not like MMA is easy on the body.
No.
But the difference is just,
No. Or he might go a little bit loops and have a crack at Lithway. I wouldn't put it past him. Diego Sanchez wanted it, didn't he?
I was just about to say that. There was talk of him doing it. And if someone was going to do it, you know it's him. Yeah. It'd be like him or a Robbie Lawler. I could see Lawler doing it, you know. So.
But yeah, it was a tight one. I wasn't angry at a draw.
Yeah.
I thought Donald edged it. I think Donald thought he edged it. I think most people did, but
yeah, because Niko was super happy with the draw. He was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And Donald was like,
he was proper in, weren't he? Main event.
Woodley versus Covington. That was sad.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because I was along those lines, right? That was sad. That was seeing someone who you would like. Woodley is just a phenom.
Yeah.
Maybe was. I don't want to like speak too soon, because it could be an off night. But there's been quite a few off nights lately, isn't it? And it's like,
it's also too. It's hard when it's almost. Obviously, he's a warrior and he'll keep fighting, but you can almost see the just breaking down of just like, fuck, you know, and because especially with Woodley, it comes across, you know, because it's not like he's super animated in the first time, but you can just sort of see that withdrawing into himself and just not getting off the mark. It's they said some stat in the like hour and a half that he's been in the cage recently, the amount of output has been like super low. Dana said after the fight he thinks he should retire.
Yeah, I mean, Dana and him don't get along.
No,
at all.
Not at the best of time. Like when he had the belt, it was just like, okay, let's get rid of this as soon as we can.
Yeah.
So that's why I respect to him for keeping hold of it. I think he had 4 defenses, something like that.
Yeah, he done well, but that's going to be a part of it, isn't it? Because you can tell, like when you've heard Tyron on like Rogan or other podcasts, he's got that chip on his shoulder, is a harsh way of saying it, but he's got that "fuck you, I'll prove you," right?
Absolutely.
But he hasn't really got that anymore. And like Covington, you know, Covington's obviously a G. There's a reason that he's, you know, number 2, 3 in the division. But there's just it's obviously different from the viewer's perspective, but it just doesn't look like Woodley 5 years ago would have had any problems with anything that Covington did there.
Yeah. Because,
right?
I mean, they're great, both outstanding wrestlers.
Yeah.
But Covington just had his way the whole time. It's like it was one-way traffic. It's like wherever he
he even seemed to like overpower him. He took him down. He had him squeezed against the cage. Like he just done nothing, and he was cracking him.
Yeah. I mean, fuck, he busted him open in the 4th or whatever, and then I'm not exactly sure what did the rib. Like, I think it was when he was trying to switch position or something like that, but he just yelled out in pain last round, and that was it. But I mean, to be fair, it was only going one way. They even told him in the corner, they're like, look, if you don't get this stoppage, that's it. It was sad. It felt like that was probably it, and if it wasn't, maybe it should be. Like, you know, it's never our place to tell a fighter when to hang him up, but he's done amazing things. And it's a very tough division, and it just seems like at 38, you have the people that obviously fight against the odds. You got B-Hop in his 50s doing it at World Championship
level. It's a very different sport, though, isn't it? And it's 100%. Also, you know, when you're built like Tyron, getting down to 170, because he's too small for 185 to compete at 185. a monster of a human for 170. Like, size of the geezer's legs, size of the geezer's arse.
Yeah.
Like, he's just gluted out, isn't he?
Last time I was in Wildcard, he was in the ring when I rocked up, and he is literally like cubic. He's just a fucking tank. Same sort of thing like with GSP. It's like, how the fuck do you make this weight? Like, that's, yeah. Anyway.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah.
How the fuck did GSP get down to 155 for that test cut? What the, like, they're doing witchcraft, aren't they? They're doing witchcraft.
So mad because holy fuck! Like when they were talking about that Khabib fight, I was like, oh. I mean, everyone wants to see that, but
that's another argument for them to put in a few more weight divisions. Yeah, like MMA does need a few more. Like not talking about like, you know, super cruiser, fucking mini light heavyweight.
What do we got now? World champ and
global champ, regular champ, world.
Oriental champ. That's a bit fucking racist, isn't it? Like, Jesus Christ, can you even say that?
I'm not going to go into this. But yeah, apparently you can't say that anymore. No, I think the rule is you're allowed to say it as an item, but I don't think you're allowed to refer to someone as.
Okay, I get it. Yeah, because I was like, that popped up, and I'm like, that's fucking weird wording for anything. Like, you go.
Yeah, I mean, they've always had like, you know, Asian champion. Why can't?
Yeah.
Have we got that specific? Okay.
Another way to make another belt, maybe.
Sure. But yeah, Woodley should maybe.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Covington though got a phone call, didn't he? Listen, when you're Donnie T, you do whatever you want because you've got a fucking nuclear arsenal and the biggest army the world has ever known. You do what you want, right? If you want to ring up Covington for wearing a MAGA hat, saying congratulations, you're a fan of me, I'm a fan of you, you've done great. Fair. Imagine having that. What I want to know what flashed up on his phone.
Right? Because he knew he was like, it's president.
He said, "Oh shit, it's POTUS." Right? I wonder if you get a phone call from that line, it comes up on your phone as POTUS with a picture of Donnie T.
No, it wouldn't be that. He'd hide his little hands. It'd be like,
how dare you? I don't hide my little hands. I embrace it.
I wanted him to make a joke about his hands so much when he said, you know, you gave me the dragon energy when you shook my hand. It's like, I should have said little hands.
Like I said, I feel like he should have other things to be doing. But also, I really, really like that he also did that.
But listen, I mean, fucking hell, I'm not going to be praising Trump on like anything, but I was like, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? It's like, it's weird, but...
Boris doesn't have the same oomph, does he? If you get like, if that AJ gets a text from Boris after he wins, it's just like, oh,
delete.
Oh, cheers. Oh, Donnie T. Like, he's always loved fights, to be fair to him. I want to know what he was doing before.
Yeah.
You know for a fact there was some fucking... There's like, you know, Turkmenistan, they've just mobilized and they're getting a little bit close to a border. Mr. President, are you listening? And he's like, no. Oh, I've got to go to the other room.
He said, I was speaking to 30,000 people and like, also, how are you doing that? Like, wait, there's no gathering anymore, but whatever. He fucking electronically, whatever. He was in the middle of something and he was like, I got to go watch the fight.
Yeah, I'm off. Yeah, respect. Respect to Donnie T, respect to Covington. Whatevs, right? What else do you say other than that? Like, he's got the big man's blessing.
Bless him.
And then he decided to beef out a little bit with Usman after, which they swung out to be, you know, they painted it. I personally didn't connect the dots for what they said was racist, but in the thing that I saw.
Right. Yeah.
The only thing that I saw a little bit close to the mark was like he was mugging off his hairline. And I was just like, it's weird.
The last time they fought, he was saying some shit that was like, it was very fitting that he got his jaw broken.
Yeah.
You're like, but see, this is a thing too with Colby, because Sonnen was saying like, look, he was on the verge of being cut.
Yep.
And then he created this like bad guy image. And he's like, okay, great. He's like, but you got to stick with the image, man. Like the second he lost, he was just like, it's just part of the. And he's like, you don't say that shit. Wrestlers don't after each match go, you know what? I'm not actually a bad guy.
Be cordial, be respectful in defeat. Like Conor. Conor will say some wild shit after the fight. Can't wait to do it again. You got the best of me, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, man.
Carries it on, though.
Before
He's
the
tweeting
fight,
on the way home, we're going to do this again, biatch.
Yeah, I always find it a bit weird when people talk mad shit when someone smacked the fuck out of them the first time. It's like you'd think you'd have a different entry the second time.
That was the weird thing about the shit that him and Usman were talking, because he was talking shit like he won, and it was like, no, I bust your face. Like badly, bro, like really, really did beat your face in quite badly, and it had to be stopped. And he's like, I won though, I won. He's like, what did you win? You won the competition to get your face smushed. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I think that's it for fights, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chandler in the UFC. Discuss. How exciting is that?
That is a bodied individual, son.
He's a 100% boyfriend. Myself and a good friend of mine, shout out Mike Manning, we often share posts for Chandler, right? He's a G, right? He's an absolute G. He seems like a lovely guy.
Yep.
He's got an amazing little family.
Savage.
Yeah, he's an absolute barbarian. Those fights with Eddie Alvarez back in the old Bellators, appalling, right? He's built like a brick shithouse. He's built like original Sean Shirk, Matt Hughes.
Oh,
he's that vibe,
mate. The muscle shark. I haven't fucking thought about him in time. He was, mate. He was bodied.
I wonder what them boys do now. Like you would imagine. I mean, you would think that they would pop up on coaching or whatever.
Yeah. Like Shirk, I haven't heard about in time. That is a proper flashback.
No, he was a big star as well, Shirk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he was the weight cut king, weren't he?
Yeah.
They said like on the night he looked like he ate Sean Shirk that weighed in. Just a shit. I mean, the muscle shark is a shit name, but
oddly fitting too.
Yeah, oddly fitting. Yeah, whatevs. But yeah, I always wonder what these boys are doing now.
Yeah,
there's got to
true.
be.
Yeah, because you think he'd definitely have a camp, but
I mean, maybe he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really make that much cash then, did they? Yeah, maybe he's got some like promotion on a reservation somewhere. But yeah, Chandler, I think Chandler gives anyone a good old go, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Like
they're flying him out, right, to be the backup fight, I think.
Yeah, so he's the backup for Gaethje or Khabib, which is good, right? It's respectful because he's of a level and proven to be of a level, and Bellator have got enough talent now.
Yeah.
Where it's not the A team and the B team, it's kind of like 1A and 2A now. I mean, the UFC is still the premier, fine. Yeah. Bellator is still the one below it. I get it, but the talent is enough to be competitive, and they're chopping and changing a lot more now, which is good. I think
that's what was heartbreaking with the whole Pride buyout. It was just like, you remember when it's proper Pride versus UFC, and it's like Pride had all the savages, and they went over one by one. You're like, hang on, what the fuck's happening here?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's something to do with the Yakuza not saying who does and doesn't win. Or
it affects it.
It does have a vast effect. Also, I believe the drug testing regimen in the UFC was a little bit more comprehensive.
Different.
Yeah, just on the edge of a little bit more. Just give or take. Like the contract didn't say.
Mate, the stories of back then, fuck it. It was basically in the contract. We won't check. Just have at it.
But then you watch some of those old fights, right? Some of the Pride proper fights, like seeing Fedor gets power slammed on the top of his head and then just rolls over like nothing. Yeah, rolled up. Like, I don't think a human can do that unless they're absolutely juiced to the fucking eyeballs. I just don't think it happens. I think you die.
I know what you mean. I'm going to reserve judgment on Fedor because he's just that guy. Do you know what I mean? Like, Fedor grew up in a fucking gulag, it looks like.
He did grow up in a gulag, but he's also from a nation that maybe has state-sponsored.
Well, yeah.
They're not shy of it. You know, I would go as far to say that potentially they invented most of it. So, whether he knew or not, that's another thing.
Valid point.
Yeah. I mean, but then Randleman, he didn't look like he died of fucking the most severe MRSA the world's ever known. He looked like a zombie. He had holes in his ribs.
Yeah, that was super sad.
But he also looked like a fucking superhero.
Oh, they all did at that time. Like Mark Coleman, him, remember? And then it's just sad, like seeing...
They look like WWF peak stars.
Yeah. Mark Kerr, you remember the Smashing Machine?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a big documentary, that.
Yeah, it really is. Fucking
bit depressing,
sad.
isn't it? Yeah. I think maybe for the Patreon, we'll hold hands and watch documentaries together.
Some Kleenex in hand.
Yeah, just like, oh man, that or what I'll do, right? I'll let the derby get to a certain stage, and then we'll make a special video of me doing the Hickson choke. But what I'll do, I'll draw a big smile on the gun and some eyes, and there we are. If we hit
that is value for money.
Yeah, there you go. We hit 10 million downloads. I'm getting a tramp stamp of our logo.
We're going there. Done. Yep. Joined.
Yeah, 10 million. 10 million. I will get a tramp stamp of the logo. It can be the Street Fighter one. It can be the new old school ones having a row in the coffee cup.
I reckon it's going to be that one.
I don't really want the fiver one that we had to request that the t-shirts got put on. I don't really want that one. That one got a little bit sketchy. Yeah, that one got a little bit attitude, didn't it?
Proper. I don't even want that on a t-shirt. So I don't want to wear something so much like.
Yeah, it was a little bit much. Or it would just be like the Masonic one with the CCC. I'd gladly have that.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Even though it looks like an arrow pointing down, but yeah,
fine. Fun fact: my bum cheeks don't line up because I had to have a surgery.
That's another one for the Patreon.
Yeah. I've got like a channel that got bored into my right bum cheek, so they don't rub anymore because I've got a tyrant.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I had a load of ingrown hairs. They wrap around your tailbone. It can be really dangerous. So they make it so you can't have that anymore. But yeah, my days as a Gary Glitter model gone. Rest in peace. Rest in power. Amen. Yeah.
On that note,
good sharing. Everyone, if you could like, rate, review, subscribe, share, it would mean an awful lot to Streets and I. We are literally trying to buy your love with very expensive boxing gloves. I have located the two winners, by the way. I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, because I was going to say.
I'm waiting to hear what the other one... one of them has picked 14-ounce gold. Sure. Hey, you won. You pick.
That's it.
All good. The other one hasn't told me the size nor the colour yet. He's not really in the biggest of rush, it would appear. But you know, Streets and I were frugal, so I'm not doing double shipping. So you need to tell me what you want. Exactly. They both go out together. That's the long and short of it.
Also, not going to call people out by names because I don't remember who it was, but don't be writing saying like, oh, are you still giving away gloves? What do I have to do? If you haven't even listened enough to know what the fuck to do, just it's not for you. And like it says on wherever you saw that we're giving away glove, it'll clearly say, leave a review. We'll pick the best one. That's how you get the gloves. Yeah. Don't be writing and
bit violin worries me. Also, I can't afford these gloves, so I would really like to win them. Right? Respect. Yeah. You've shot your shot. Yeah, me too. But the competition is the competition. Be creative with it.
That's it.
You know? That's it. If you want those gloves, turn into it. If you think that you can't afford those gloves, then make me a sob story, a funny one. And then me and Streets will read it. And if it weaves an adequate story, you go into the contention. Right? It's really simple. Really, really simple. I also don't give a fuck how many people are going to say to me, I'm an amateur this, I'm an amateur that. Like, all right. Thank you for listening. Like, for real, thanks for listening. Love it. Yeah. As of this weekend, I'm an amateur spreadsheet fucking operator. You know what I mean? Like, what does that matter?
Give me a laptop.
Yeah, exactly. Anything else? This week we have Kevin Gleeson as our guest.
We do indeed. That was a big one.
Yeah.
Big up,
It was
Kev.
really, really
Thank you for
fun.
your time.
We stayed up very late for that one, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Because I think it's quite a nice thing to do. I think at the end of the year, which we will do at the end of this year, because as far as I'm aware, we established in 2020. And if we close out 2020, whatever, Kev might have the Savage Interview of the Year award, right? Because how he was conducting that Zoom call, spectacular, right?
Next time we just need some gunshots out the car window.
Yeah. What a wild dude. Imagine doing that here. You'd get tased.
And about £1 million worth of fines.
Yeah, they'd get the stinger out. They'd blow all your tyres out. They'd drag you out. Like, he was just driving around like it was nothing.
Love it.
Absolute G. Yeah. We've got a prospect as our guest this week. Very happy about that. It's going to be a fun one.
It is indeed.
And then, history episode towards the end of the week.
Big Donnie King.
Big Donnie King. Only in America. I will say this. Streets tonight. Streets doesn't know this, but I'm going to share with him right now. So it's lovely that we all share together. We are going to be putting some oomph behind the Patreon now, because as we know, the second wave is coming. Circuit breakers are being announced. You lot are going to be stuck at home, basically making shapes out your own genitals just for something to do, right? And that is fact. So we are going to be pumping out the Patreon, which means we're going to have to be putting in a bit of a graft on the old audio side. But that's fine. That's fine. I've got a whole list of offerings for us. We're just going to give it out. Boom. Streets, I love you.
Love you too,
night.
baby. See you tomorrow.
Bye.